Because of his passion for the movie Paw Patrol, Mike spent $2,000 to buy a Ford wrecker that had been neglected for many years. Previously, when the former owner left the car here, it was an open field, but now it's overgrown with grass and wild plants. This shows how long the car has been abandoned here. Just getting in to take a look at it was difficult, so pulling it out will be even more challenging. Mike began clearing away the tires and wild plants around the Ford to make a path to rescue the car. Now, the car could finally be seen. Up close, the car showed signs of deterioration and rust. Being left outside for so long had faded the paint and caused many spots to peel off. The once inflated tires were now completely flat. Mike opened the side storage compartment, causing a swarm of insects to fly out, revealing some remaining rescue tools inside. Opening the cabin door, a stench of mixed rat urine and small animal droppings hit Mike's nose. Next, Mike popped the hood to inspect the engine. At first glance, the engine bay appeared to have all the necessary components. However, everything was covered in a thick layer of dust with signs that mice had nested inside. Mike wondered if the mice had chewed through any wires. Then Mike used a dipstick to check the oil, which had turned pitch black from sitting so long, indicating more expenses ahead. He then checked the radiator, which was bone dry. Before towing the car, Mike used a tire pump with a pressure gauge to see if the tires could hold air. This portable tire pump was very convenient for checking and inflating the tires on the spot. The tow truck arrived, and it was time to bring the car back for restoration. Pulling it out seemed easy, but the tires were sunken into the ground, and wild plants had tightly wrapped around some parts, making it impossible to tow. Mike had to make 2 trips to get the right tow truck. The process of rescuing the Ford was not easy. After all the effort and expense, it was uncertain whether it would pay off. Now, it was time to start the restoration. First, Mike used a multimeter to check the car's electrical system, including the battery, circuits, and sensors. Mike sprayed lubricant, disconnected the electrical connections, and removed the battery. He then used a power drill to remove the securing screws and detach the battery connected to the engine system. After that, he installed a different battery and connected it to the car's electrical system. He used a test light to check the circuits in the engine bay. After using the test light to check, he inspects the wire connections and battery terminals to ensure all connections are secure and not loose. This is a necessary step to ensure the car's electrical system operates stably and efficiently, helping the car start and run without electrical issues. Mike starts the car's engine, pressing the start button, which could be a remote start or an assistive tool, to check if the engine can turn over and start. This helps determine the engine's operational status and see if it has any issues. The wheels turn, indicating that the engine is receiving power and attempting to start. The next step, Mike checks and drains the engine's oil filter. This is an important part of engine maintenance, helping to remove impurities and sludge from the oil, ensuring the engine runs smoothly and efficiently. After opening the fuel filter cap, Mike uses diesel fuel to flush the fuel filter. Diesel fuel helps clean the fuel system and ensures the engine starts more easily, especially after a long period of inactivity. This substance is used to remove dirt and impurities in the fuel system. Mike checks the pressure in the fuel system and sees that a new fuel filter is needed, so he calls the shop to have one delivered. Not wasting time, Mike vacuums the air filter, which filters dust and impurities from the air before it enters the engine. With everything in the engine bay relatively clean, Mike changes the engine oil. However, oil leaks from the bottom of the engine bay, creating sparks from electrical connections that ignite the flammable liquids and cause a small explosion. But nothing serious happens. Mike continues to connect the cable terminals to the battery terminals to recharge the battery or to supply power to the car's electrical system to start the engine. Yay, the car starts with a lot of smoke and dust. Then Mike pours green coolant into the car's radiator. This is coolant, also known as antifreeze, used to regulate the engine's temperature, prevent overheating, and protect the components from corrosion. With that done, Mike cleans up and tidies the truck bed and side storage compartment. The truck bed is a world of dry leaves and miscellaneous items like chains and metal bars, incredibly dirty. The cabin is equally dirty and smelly, but Mike doesn't mind and starts cleaning up the abandoned manuals. He thought the truck bed was the dirtiest part of the truck until he opened the glove compartment. He didn't know what to call it anymore. Cleaning the trash from this truck took Mike a lot of time, and now it's dark. However, the cleanup wasn't entirely bad because Mike found some interesting things. He thought about stopping for the day and continuing tomorrow, but Mike, being a determined guy, keeps going. He continues using the hydraulic lift to raise the truck a bit higher for easier access to the parts underneath. Mike uses a wrench to loosen the nuts on the wheels and then uses a drill brush to clean the inside of the wheel rim. This drill brush is attached to an electric drill, effectively removing dirt, rust, and stubborn deposits. Next, Mike applies lubricant to help mount the tires onto the rims more easily and to avoid damaging the tires or rims during installation. He also doesn't forget to inflate the tires fully. Now he finally stops working. The next day, the car has been cleaned and the basics, like the engine and wheels, have been repaired. Mike uses a high-pressure water jet to wash away the dirt on the surface first. Then he works on the power assist system under the car's dashboard. Electric power assist systems usually include electric motors, sensors, and electronic controllers to provide assistance to the driver. Checking and maintaining these components is crucial to ensure the power assist system works properly and ensures driving safety. He discovers some damaged circuits and a blown 30-amp fuse, so he uses a multimeter to check the circuits and fuses. He finds the blown fuse and replaces it with a new one. After replacing it, he uses a multimeter to test the new fuse. He tests the automatic window control and it works again, indicating the fuse was correctly replaced. Mike can't wait any longer. He takes the car for a test drive and finds it quite okay. He drives around town a bit for a break and then returns to continue the repairs. Returning, Mike cleans the area around the fuel injectors and the fuel pump assembly on the engine. Specifically, he cleans the fuel injector tips, hoses, and electrical connections to remove dirt and grease. He then removes the fuel injection system, inspects it, and replaces the damaged parts with new ones. He goes into the garage to select O-rings from a box containing various types of O-rings. These O-rings are used to replace old or damaged ones in the fuel system, cooling system, or other engine parts. After selecting, Mike replaces and reassembles the parts. Next, Mike removes the wheels. He sprays lubricant on the brake system components. He uses a breaker bar to remove the bolts on the wheels. A breaker bar is a long, sturdy tool that provides extra leverage to generate higher torque than a regular wrench, making it easier to remove tightly fastened or stuck bolts or nuts. Next, Mike removes the wheel axle and the disc brake system. The brake pads are worn out and severely damaged from the car's disc brake system, with clear signs of heat damage and delamination due to high temperatures and prolonged use. Mike will replace these brake pads to ensure the brake system operates efficiently and safely. Mike quickly replaces the damaged parts with new ones and takes another spin to check if there are any remaining issues with the car. Back home, Mike drains the engine oil and checks the gears inside the transmission. It is evident that some gears are chipped and slightly damaged from use. After finishing, Mike takes it outside to bask in the sun and admire his handiwork. From an old, pitiful tow truck with a bulky crane at the back, the Ford now has a cute new truck bed. The 1988 Ford Wrecker tow truck is one of Ford's renowned tow truck models, an ideal choice for rescue and towing operations. Mike has added another tow truck to his collection.